So for my character, he's kind of leaning forward a little bit, so I think I'm going to go for kind of like a happier, bouncier mood, kind of the opposite of what we see in the example on the class site of a sad mood. And so for doing something a little happier, bouncier, I'm going to, not have things as static. I'm not going to respect the ground plane quite as much. I'll have it kind of like play with gravity a little bit, and we'll kind of bounce around a little bit. But most of what I'm going to focus on is just like adding in the final lines, and just making sure to keep that motion, keep the sort of basic up and down motion that I've created with my sketches, but try to get my sort of final art in. So I'm going to take my sketches and go ahead and turn this into a guide so I won't export it by mistake, and I'm going to lock it. And then I'm going to add a new layer. I'll call this inks. You can really call it whatever you want. I tend to do that because I, like to think about it that way, but you don't really have to. And then I'm just going to go in. I don't think I'm going to use the onion skin. I'm just going to kind of trust that my sketches are in the right place. I might toggle the onion skin on and off if I want to kind of double check and make sure I'm in the right place with things. But I'm going to grab my brush, choose the black stroke, and I'm going to up the stroke size a bit to 2, so we'll get sort of a slightly thicker line. And for this one, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, so I'm going to hit Control-1 to zoom in, and then I'm going to move around so I can have a little more space to sketch. Oops. And I might give myself a little more room down here, so I'm just going to move the timeline down a bit. And so now I'll add in my final sketches. So I'll start with the cat's head, and just come up here, and then the ear is going to be coming up like that. And then we have the other ear going there. And we'll have the head come around, and then you may want to have the head overlap with the body, or you might want it to go straight into the body. Whatever kind of look you're going for is fine. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I'm not going to fully close it, at least not right now. And then I'm just going to draw the eye, just going to fill that in, and then we have like a little cat mouth right there. Okay, so let's keep going. If I wanted to, I might add a little detail into the ear. Maybe some whiskers would be nice, something like that, just to add in a little bit of detail, but we don't necessarily need to do that yet. But I kind of like some whiskers. That's kind of nice. You could have them poking out the other side too, but I'll leave it like that for now. And then I'm just going to hold spacebar and come down here, and I'll start with the body, but I can see the arm is going to be overlapping there, so I'm going to hold off there. And here's my first foot, and do a little cat foot here. Okay, and if I want to see how that looks without the guides, I'll have to move this up and just turn off my sketches. Looks okay. So let's keep going. So then the body is going to kind of come here, and then we have the leg here. I'm going to move this in just a little bit, and then I have my ground plane down here, and that looks pretty good. So let's add in the arm. There's my little hand. There's the arm, and then we have the hand poking out just a little bit here. That looks pretty good. So there's our first ink. And that's looking pretty good. We'll keep going. So I'll move up to the next sketch. So I'm just using the 2 angle brackets, the greater than and less than, to move forward. And so we're going to the next pose. I'm going to hit F7 to add in a new one here. And then here's where I might want to, have the onion skin on, just so I can see what my previous sketch looked like. So I'm just holding Alt-Shift-O to toggle that on and off. So I just want to get a sense of the shapes. I'll start with the ear, maybe, since that's where we're drawing the head from. And then I'll draw the head down here, and draw the eye, draw the mouth, and the whiskers. And then maybe I'll toggle back and forth So the whiskers are a little bit longer. Let's turn on the onion skin actually. So we've got our whiskers moving down. Okay, and then I can just toggle back and forth to see if that looks pretty decent. Looks good enough for a demo anyway. Okay, and then I didn't want to fully close this, so let's go in and just erase a little bit here. Okay. Okay, and then I'll ink in the body. So again, the arm is still kind of overlapping with the edge here, and the body's coming down a little bit down here, and then up here. And then our front leg, or our right leg, is fully bent at this point. And we're going to angle the foot forward a little bit. And then our back leg, I need to move this in a little bit. The guide is a little bit too far out. And so we can do that a little bit. And then the arm, I think, is too far back. So let's bring in the arm. Something like that. Let's go from there. Okay. No, I brought it too far forward. It's more like here. Okay. And I have the hand sticking out there, but I'm not sure. I think at this point the hand would not be visible. So let's keep going, and we'll go to our next pose, hit F7, and add in our next pose here. And I'm just going to keep kind of working this way through all of my poses. So I might not do all of them just in the interest of time, but I'll do a couple more, and then we'll go over exporting. So I can still toggle this on. I might want to move the onion skin back a little bit so I can see those poses, or I might move it up. And we'll do our next drawing here. So I'll start with the ear again. That's a little too wide. And so then we've got our head. Let's bring it. That's a little too much. Okay. And our eyes back to where it was. Beginning. And there's our mouth. And then got to get a reference for the whiskers. Okay, let's see. Okay, I might make the whiskers, if I did it again, I might make the whiskers a little more like curvy or something, but that looks pretty good. Okay, so now we've got the body. And for this pose, the arm is like not overlapping with the body at all. The right leg is straight down. And then the left leg, so here's where you can either kind of show the left leg in the back, or you can show it in the front, but you don't really want to do both. So I'm going to show it in the front a little bit, and then maybe push it back a little bit like that. And that looks pretty good, although I'm right along with the ground line, so it kind of looks like the ground line is part of the leg. So I want to avoid that, so I'm going to bring this up a little bit and then do that. Okay. And then my arm is just straight down. And I put this actually a little bit early. Let's move this up. Okay. I might have redone the same pose twice. Whoops. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, okay, I moved the frame by mistake. So that's okay. So this is actually something that you might do when you're working. I accidentally went to the next frame to finish the drawing, so I'm just going to grab this frame and drag it back here. So now we've got that pose done, and I forgot this ear. up here. So let's just finish that. And now let's do one more pose, and then I'm gonna go over exporting. So I'm gonna hit F7 to add in this pose here. And so I'm gonna start with the ear again. And so now the ear is gonna go up above the ear line up here. And so the head is gonna start up here. Okay, and our eyes up here now. So our mouth is up here, and our whiskers are up here. And so then let's turn off the onion skin. And so now the body is going to be up a little bit. The arm is going forward and overlapping a bit here. So I'm going to make sure to let that go. And now our right leg is still in front, obviously, but it's pushing up. So we're going to show the heel right there. And there's our foot. And we're pushing up a little bit. And then our arm is coming forward like that. And then this leg, I had the guide a little bit too far forward, so I'm going to cheat this way. This one's up here and about to step down. And it's a little too skinny. Let's try that again. Maybe I'll start with the front. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at this, but then I want to go over exporting, so I'll leave the last 4 frames. So let's take a look at what this looks like so far. Okay, so the first few frames are pretty decent. There's a couple fixes I would make, like the head volume gets a little squished at one point, so I'd go back and fix that. But other than that, it's not looking too bad. And so I'm going to go ahead and go over exporting. You know, obviously I would finish the last 4 poses before I would export normally, but just to save time, I'm going to skip ahead to that. So I'm going to save here, and I'm going to go to File and Export. And remember, for this one, we're doing an animated GIF. So sometimes we do a video, sometimes we do a GIF. For this one, since it's just 8 frames and we want to see the walk cycle working, it's better to do an animated GIF. So I'm going to go to Export, Export Animated GIF, and we can kind of preview it. We can set it running and see how it looks. Okay, not bad. And I'm going to leave most of these settings the same. I don't really have to play with any of this stuff. So once I am happy with this, I'm going to click Save. And I'm just going to put it in this Annie260 folder, walk cycle 1. So I'll click Save here. And so now I'm going to stop the video here because it's only recording Animate, but I'll go over really quickly how to make the post on OpenLab. Yeah, I'm going to stop the video here. I'll go over the posts, and if you guys have any questions, we can go over it.